answer the Azir. It kind of has to be now. Like, if you want to pick Corki into Azir, it's kind of now or never. I expect Weibo will ban it in the second rotation. They just opt in for the Thresh. I'm not sure how I feel about this, right? It's a blind bot lane, and there's still a lot of AD carries open available that we typically see. Senna is open, Ezreal's open. Kalista, you probably wouldn't want to play into this lane, but it, you know, was there. It means BLG, you know, Thresh, Aphelios is a strong lane in the past. It's like a good synergistic lane, but it's not something we've seen prioritized this heavily for a long time. Weibo will lock in the Gwen for TheShy, and for any of those who didn't tune into a bunch of Weibo's games in spring, TheShy dominated on this pick, and then he had a ban against him just forever. It was like, okay, we cannot let this guy get this pick ever again. And that was kind of how it went. I think Weibo's hot streak, a lot of it was off TheShy being on Gwen.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, BLG sort of seeing a similar thing with that Kayle in game number 2, deciding that they need to ban that Kayle away. It means the Gwen is available. Jack's taken away. Fiora taken away. I will say, we've seen a bit of the set up in the top lane with the Ignite that does well into that Gwen. I wonder if Bin has that in his pool. Perhaps something like the Gangplank as well, something we've seen a lot from Bin over the years.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that we don't, because they obviously banned GP first rotation last time. But I guess they're just more concerned about like the hard counters. They're going to outscale you in the side lane rather than GP, who's, you know, there's an element of skill in that matchup, quite a decent element in execution. And also GP is not someone who you typically expect to stomp the Gwen. It's more you both scale. If one of you gets an edge, you can take over the lane. Now, BLG banned the Rakan away from on, and that Senna. Still a bunch of things available for Weibo. We'll see what they opt into here. Maybe leaning on the Kalista. They're going to go for it. So there is still that Kalista move possible. I'm hesitant just because typically we've seen Aphelios picked into the Kalista, so potentially putting you in a matchup where later in the game, Aphelios can just step up to you and shred you.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what the rest of this draft looks like, because, you know, there are things like Alistair available as well, which we've seen a little bit from On in this split. And, you know, Nautilus has made it all the way through this draft. So other aggressive supports available. The Amumu, as you say, though, would certainly lean into this kind of team fight profile that SofM and Angel are bringing to the table. But Bin answering that with a Kennen of his own. I feel like we could have some real spicy 5v5s here.
Yeah, so Kennen, one of those counters we saw back in the day into the Gwen, has a strong laning phase and team fight. You're really powerful. But did take a hit with a durability patch, so haven't seen it as much recently. And now looking to see what Fofo brings out, and actually going for the Yone in the mid lane. Bit of an interesting one. Definitely can pressure the Azir if you find the windows. If you manage to get an ult on top of him, obviously the safety of the Azir can be challenged by the Yone. So pretty interesting one to come out here. We'll see what Weibo lock in for on. The Amumu was typically what we'd expect to be paired, but yeah, Blitz coming in. One of the counters that we have seen time and time into Thresh, but not really recently in pro play.
I mean, Ballista Kalista. It's the Ballista combo, right? Where it was blitzcrank Kalista, not Ballista Kalista. The Ballista combo in the bottom lane. This makes me think of Shousey, honestly, back on the times of E-Star. But it's going to be On bringing that blitzcrank to the bottom lane alongside Kalista. Like you say, a classic counter to Thresh when Thresh goes for the wind up on the hook. Blitzcrank is just quicker. So we'll have to see. As well as a Yone in the mid lane. Like, what a set of picks that we've got coming on through for game number 3. This is going to be a bagger all.
Yeah, I expected nothing less from game 3 of this series, just with how things have panned out so far. But a lot of volatility here. The bot lane matchup, if you flub it as the Blitzcrank Kalista, you will lose relevance extremely quickly in this one, especially as later on, you know, there's a lot of targets that you don't really want to be grabbing. If you grab a Kennen into your team, not the most ideal. So we'll see how it pans out. Obviously, expect to see Weibo trying to really set up their bot lane to be successful. You know, we have the Azir coming out again from Angel, but Fofo going for something where you can really challenge the matchup, going for something aggressive where he is looking to potentially get up and cause issue for Angel in the early game. So we'll see how that pans out. But I like that it's not just a Azir Corki trade-off again, because it does feel a little bit stale at times.
Yes, it does. Whereas Yone, not stale at all. Not something we get to see anywhere near enough in pro play. Very flashy lock-in for Fofo. And a pick that you can have a lot of individual impact on. And that's something we've criticized from Fofo over the course of this year, is his individual impact. Doing well during the laning phase often, but not influencing the rest of the game, not like helping his team out a lot of the time. Feel like on a pick like Yone, you want to be getting down to the side lanes and getting into scraps, so perhaps will work out for him. I am curious how this team is going to function from BLG, though. Aux, talk me through, like, the game plan here. Like, with a Yone in the mid lane, with that Kennen up in the top side as well, this doesn't feel like a standard LPL composition.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have Prio in the top lane, thanks to Bin, and I feel like you want to try and find skirmishes if you can when it comes to, like, Fofo and Khan. Like, especially post 6. Post 6, the skirmishing power of that big jungle is really powerful. You can connect onto a target and just blow them up. And then really, I think that they're kind of looking towards team fights. Like, they have so much team fighting power. The big ultimates from Bin and Fofo can really be devastating if they find the right targets. They kind of want to lean into that. My concern really is this bot lane. If bot lane sort of implodes, they won't get the opportunity to lean towards those team fights. And, you know, this can be an extremely volatile bot lane.
Certainly can on Huanfeng in the 2v2. And they've been winning the 2v2 so far in this series. Crisp and Doggo having the range advantage to start this lane off, though, with Calibrum. So perhaps could find a bit of an advantage for themselves early on, but whether or not they can maintain that. Oh, already a hook! Already on, finds an angle. Flash forward from Huanfeng. Doggo is not long for this world. Taken down at level 1. Weibo starting things how they mean to go on.
Fantastic play. Really good grab from On. And I also want to note is that Huanfeng actually flashed over the play from Crisp. As soon as he did that, this is why Doggo didn't even flash. He knew he couldn't gain enough ground to get away because the slow hadn't come in from the flay. The knockback wasn't there. I think if that had been able to connect, if Huanfeng hadn't flashed it in time, might have survived. But just fantastic play from both of them. I said this bot lane could be volatile. We're not even 3 minutes into the game and already a kill coming out for Weibo.
On as well, making a roam to this mid lane. Fofo needs to be a little bit cautious. We'll just be CSing for now. Is On just going to walk in, get the cannon, share a bit of gold with his mid laner, and return to that bottom lane. Not much for him to recall for at the moment, so just letting Huanfeng go back to base, grab some longswords. Look at Huanfeng's inventory. We're 2.5 minutes into the game, 3 minutes into the game even. There's an all-in the mid lane, but Fofo zips on back. 2 longswords and boots, though, for Huanfeng. It's scary for the bottom lane of BLG.
Yeah, and it's just such a fantastic grab come back out from On. Really threads the needle on this one. And manages to find it just when Doggo isn't expecting it. The minion moves up, catches him as he thinks he's safe. And then watch this flash from Huanfeng. Play comes out, gets completely clear of it. The slow doesn't happen, the knockback doesn't happen. And Doggo knows at this point, this many spears in you, you ain't getting away.
No, you are not. Easy pick up there. Beautiful hook from On. Beautiful flash from Huanfeng. Feels like they took a game or two to warm into things, but now game number 3, they are feeling it and they are being aggressive in that bottom lane. This time, not having that twisted fate, not having a composition that's designed for just them to be piled on by the rest of the team. Instead, just win it 2v2.
Yeah, I feel like in this game compared to the last one, you really need the pressure to come out more from On and Huanfeng themselves, and it's good to see that it started already. One thing to note though is Flash hasn't been burned by Doggo, so does have that safety net in case another play comes through. Top lane, kind of expected, right? TheShy just weathering the storm, not the funnest matchup. You're kind of seeing the same with Angel just having the priority over Fofo. But that's the thing with the Yone, is you can stack up those tornadoes, use your E to trade back in return, apply some pressure to the Azir, and Angel is hitting for mana right now. Whereas obviously Yone never hits for mana.
Yep, that's one of the nice things about playing champions with no mana. And mana really is a state of mind in that situation. As Huanfeng just about dodges away from that hook. There was a hook that very narrowly missed Doggo a moment ago as well. This feels like a very tense bottom lane. This feels like, you know, it'll be very quiet until it's not. One of those hooks lands and suddenly everything kicks off. Oh, Can though wants to move into this bottom lane, and that would be dangerous for Weibo.
Yeah, I feel like maybe just covering so they can crash the wave in. SofM's going to show his face as well. And this could be, you know, I've hidden it completely to how back and forth this lane can be. Really can come down to execution. Remember, Khan can get those resets. SofM might reset, go back to base himself. And that would leave his bot lane a little bit vulnerable.
Yeah, but I don't think that there's a dive available here from the side of BLG. Nobody really tanky enough. It's we're trying to contest vision at the same time. I don't know if that's a contest that you want to make. They will accept that they have to lose the ward. We'll just play things up. The reset comes out from Can. Quite a lot of time used there by Can on the bottom side. We'll have to reset, go back towards his top side where his wolves have spawned.
I think it's worth it though, right? One of the big issues is if you let this lane play out when Kalista has that item advantage, it's going to be a pain. But now Doggo goes back to base. He picks up tier 2 boosts. It's going to help a lot in terms of dodging away from the blitzcrank grabs, having that extra movement speed, and kind of, you know, as much as Huanfeng's still going to be ahead because of that extra kill, mitigates it a little bit. So just making sure that your lane isn't falling apart. We do see level 6 coming in from both Fofo and Bin. Does mean a bit more all-in potential between the top laners if someone finds a window, but also Fofo having that ultimate. If you do get Angel low, if you do connect that ultimate, you can really on just TP'd in top, by the way.
Yes, he did. We have our mad scientist support on with the unsealed spellbook, and he forces a flash out of Bin. I mean, that's a win. That's an absolute win.
Yeah, you take that.
I love this player. When he came in on Weibo, he was questioned so heavily, did not have a good performance right at the very start. He has come into his own in a big way. Now he's this mad scientist, this Renautilus, this absolutely insane player. And now Chris trying to find a hook, but SofM dodges it with the clone on. Instead finds the hook onto Chris. Big damage coming out from Angel, but there's the fate sealed. Manages to find SofM, who's not level 6 just yet. He'll get caught and taken down. Doggo with the kill.
As part of the skirmishing power, the ability just to connect into a target at such a long range, the ultimate from the Yone. I feel like Weibo shouldn't have been as comfortable going for that fight as they were, and they end up getting punished for it. Now BLG can turn straight onto that dragon, and considering how rough the early bot lane went, obviously with that 2v2 kill, Doggo picks up a kill to sort of match up with that gold advantage that Huanfeng had, and they get that first dragon, which is obviously massive. Yeah, I feel like just because you can land an ability, not sure that always means you could. Like, Fofo was even looking to leave, and then they were like, okay, you know, you guys want to fight, we'll take it. One just flashes out like, sorry, SofM, you're on your own there.
Oh, man. Yeah, we've got TheShy and SofM on the same team. We've got On exuding this much mojo. It feels like inevitably these kinds of plays are going to happen. But Huanfeng, like you say, nowhere near. This was not a fight that Weibo wanted. They were just straight up outnumbered. So bit of a mistake coming out from Weibo, but it does mean that we are pretty much dead even on gold as we head towards the 10-minute mark. First Drake went the way of BLG, but Herald is on the map now, and I'm curious if we get some swaps. You can see the reset from Huanfeng, and it looks like he will head towards that top side of the map.
Yeah, Bin's ult's down though. Obviously, we just saw that all in, and I feel like him not having his ult available, also doesn't have the flash available. He's not that useful in a fight right now. They're really going to be relying heavily on Fofo and Khan to carry a lot of this fight, but it looks like that's enough just to scare Weibo away. The fact Angel was on a reset just means nothing will come for it, and now potentially fishing for TheShy. He's got to expect something here.
Yeah, he's got to be cautious. Dodges away from the Shuriken. Yeah, trying to bait the abilities out. Nicely done. In the meantime, though, Khan does just grab that Herald. Weibo too late to the play. And now, unfortunately, not able to punish on the opposite side, right? If Huanfeng just goes to the bottom lane, they could get a plate or two, but instead trying to contest, but being too late, kind of get the worst of both worlds.
Yeah, and I think that timing of the reset from Angel, like, I don't know if the communication was bad, but it should be like, look, I need a reset, so we shouldn't fight this, don't make the play. Or it could just be, I don't know, something went wrong in the communication there. They're not there in time. And as a result, as you said, they end up missing out. And now, first Dragon secured from BLG, first Herald secured from BLG. They're in a really comfortable position as a result. Do you see SofM potentially hunting for a play here, though? Might look for a dive on a bin, but he does have ultimate. This might be risky.
Yeah, and also Khan is nearby. This is dangerous. SofM in a bad spot, but On is here as well. Where is On not currently? There's a power fist knock him up, and a spin to win from SofM as well. Bin's ultimate going to be forced on out. And both of the BLG top side are going to be forced away, and TheShy gets plenty of free time on this tower and will deny so much CS from Bin. Look how many minions are just going to die to this tower.
Yeah, really nice play. The fact On is making these map movements. You can look at his inventory. He basically picked up those Moby boots as soon as he could and is just making his presence known on the map. And sure, you do see Huanfeng getting zoned off a little bit off the wave as a result, but absolutely a play you'll make when you're allowing TheShy to get a 20 CS lead in the top lane and some plates.
Yeah, and I mean, when you consider what our expectation was coming in, we talked about the level 1 kill coming out from Huanfeng and On. We talked about how Weibo's comp wants Huanfeng and On to have a lot of pressure in the 2v2. but they're not bothered about the 2v2. Odd has basically not even visited the bottom lane this game. He's constantly up in the top lane.
I mean, he got that first kill and it's like, right, my job's done. See you later.
Yeah.
Let's just see if he spends some more time now that they have the level 6s. I mean, having the level 6 from blitzcrank really powerful as well for the all-in pressure. That burst of damage makes a pretty big difference. But yeah, just trying to make things happen on the map. And I think Weibo, pretty comfortable the game keeps going in this direction. You know, they have a lot of powerful tools in later stages. You feel confident in the fact that TheShy has Gwen. That's going to scale up well. The Azir is on top of that. And as much as the Aphelios is going to have more value than the Kalista, you know, we've seen what On can do when he is got the support off that Kalista ultimate, can go as aggressive as he wants. And there's so many times where, like, in a late game scenario, like, we don't see blitzcrank that much, but you can just win games with one good grab. Like, you grab the right person at the right time, and the enemy team just lose as a result.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that is always a win condition, right? When you have the blitzcrank, blitzcrank, even though he's not. If you miss the hook, he's completely useless. He's not even a champion. But when you land that hook in the late game,
so much of his power is budgeted into that grab.
I know. It's such an obscene ability. It's like, it's so good, but it's also so terrible if you do miss it. But On, just so far, he's been hitting. He's been hitting. Yes, hit, full TFT. Just hit. We'll see if On gets more dogged.
Hopefully not for Weibo's sake now. Dragon in 20 seconds. The setup's already coming from Weibo. I don't think BLG contests this one. They have the early dragon, which they're happy with, so they don't need to. But yeah, you can see even Khan on the top side of the map shows they're not interested. But this gives a window potentially to drop that Herald. No. Herald is...
Heal was used by On for the movement speed there. With the spell hook, he actually used a heal to get movement speed to find the hook on Crisp. Then Crisp just comfortably dodges it. On trying to read the juke there, Crisp just walks in a straight line, just knowing that the dodge, the prediction would come on through. There's an knock upon to Angel though, Fofo. Big damage, but the Fate Seal dodged very nicely by Angel. The Herald though, getting a couple of plates in that mid lane. Dragon on the map right here, and BLG got the first of the game. Fofo just gets charged down by TheShy. Ghost being used there, but can't quite find the rest of the needlework.
And it feels like things are in a really tentative position because TheShy has roamed down, so Bin is getting some free time top, but still has that TP, still has that ultimate. Yes, Fofo lost a lot of his tools there, but it feels like both teams pushing. I said I didn't think Khan was coming down to contest this dragon, but he throws the Herald down mid, gets a couple of plates, and both teams are looking to make this one happen.
Bot and mid priority here for Weibo as they push on into this. Shy's like, come on then, Khan. Let's have a 1v1. We came out in the same season. I can take you down. 3K on the Dragon, stacking up the rend here. SofM on the scene to try and grab that smite. Doggo over the wall with an Inferno Moonlight Vigil. If everyone groups up, but Khan gets the smite yet again. There's the Moonlight Vigil. Gravitum across the team here as everyone turns Golden Bin, trying to zap them down, but doesn't have any damage just yet. Weibo still 5 strong, and Angel finds yet another kill for himself. No, it's just the clone as Khan denied anything here. Taken down. 4-1 on the scoreboard. 3 kills for Weibo.
And I feel like BLG just got greedy. You know, they didn't even need to take that fight. They got the dragon already, but also Bin holding his TP. I feel like there was prime opportunity to get your TP in there, get on the back line. He ends up not getting the best ult as a result. And the fact that Fofo doesn't have his ultimate as well, we'll get the replay. So there's like the control ward there. There's also a ward off to the right of the screen. Bin could have TP'd like at any point here, but instead walks down. So like if you look at this big muddled fight right now, his ult being there already would have been fantastic. And then he gets brought in, he hits SofM's clone, and then half of his ult is negated by the Gwen being immune. And that's all he gets. So bear in mind, Kennen ult did barely anything. Yone ult wasn't available. It just really wasn't a good fight set up by BLG. And I have to say, I think you should have just pulled the trigger, said, Bin, TP in now. We're going for the fight. Or if you're not going to, just take the dragon and leave.
Yeah, tough one for BLG. They did get the Drake at least. So silver linings there. But like you say, they could have got the Drake and also not died. So bit of an over-aggression, bit of an overstep from BLG. And Weibo now in prime position, right? 1,000 gold lead. Going for this Herald for themselves with no contestation whatsoever from BLG. Is he TheShy and Fofo actually being put in the 1v1 currently? An Angel could have been matching up against Bin. It's a hook from On and Can. Just about dodges it. That was a close one.
Yeah, really on the edge there, but just managed to connect it. And in the meantime, SofM picks up the second Herald and a Scuttle. So Weibo getting everything they wanted off that team fight and a bit more extra afterwards as well. You can see BLG posturing. Oh, great hook.
Onto SofM, denies the clone here, denies the escape, forces the flash. Now the knock-up, but it's turned around. Here comes on. Bin, slicing Maelstrom across the team with TheShy in the middle of everyone with the needlework as well. But Huanfeng caught up, taken down. BLG on top, and TheShy left to run to the hills. BLG turned this game around.
Now that's what I'm looking for from the team fight. So much better. Bin TP's in immediately. They slam the ultimate down. Fofo has his ult. Everything connects, and it looks so easy when you get in those resets for Khan as well. Bin, maybe playing with fire a bit here.
Yeah, TheShy, I don't know if he can 2v1. Not without the needlework right now. We'll have to back away. I don't think they can really get on top of him. He'll be able to escape. A lot of CS actually being lost currently by Bin for trying to go for this play. But ultimately, he'll get back to the yeah. Just trying to intimidate TheShy.
I'm trying to show him he can't go where he pleases. Now, a lot of goal back in favor of BLG. We're now dead even, but the fact they have 2 dragons in pocket, and Fatal Soul coming up in 2 minutes, in a good position. I think this kind of shows, you know, Weibo's composition can be hard to pin down. There's a lot of defensive tools for the Kalista and the Azir, and these frontliners are very hard as well to get damage onto, with it being a Wukong with the clone and a TheShy with his immunity. But when it happens, when BLG connect their abilities, their big team fighting tools onto them, that is how BLG wanted to go. Weibo want to try and keep things a little bit more spread out, have everyone being a bit slippery, don't all clump up. And it kind of shows, like, the fight we had before the Dragon was how Weibo wanted to go, and this is how BLG wanted to go. So first off, great hoof coming out on our SofM, predicts the clone dash and catches the real Wukong. So now he's trapped with no way of getting out. They commit heavily to try and turn the play around, but everyone is clumped up. Big ultimate comes through, follow up from Fofo. Those 3 members are just wiped off the face of the earth so quickly. And that's really what we need for BLG if they're going to be taking these fights.
Yeah, BLG really nicely played. And Crisp as well, who, to be honest, hadn't been having that good of a game so far. Manages to find that hook absolutely crucial, turning things around. And we'll see if he can consistently find that, right? Because if SofM's getting caught out before, like, Wukong needs to be one of your big engage tools, really, aside from just the blitzcrank hooking. Like, Wukong needs to be in the middle of everyone, and when you can force SofM to use those cooldowns early, when you can force him to use that ult in a more defensive manner like that, you can guarantee yourself the fighters can. Dodges the hook. I feel like you're playing on 10 to hooks here, BLG. They're doing a pretty good job, though, of just dodging every hook.
Yeah, I mean, we just said, just hit. It looks like the response from BLG is just dodge. It's that easy.
It really is. It really is. Well, Weibo now going to try and muscle their way into the river. 2 Drakes so far for BLG. Weibo can't afford to lose a third. Can't. On top of everything with smite so far, but you can't smite it if TheShy just kills you before the fight can ever happen. On finds the hook, the silence, and Khan will go down. Angel with the kill. There's a nice hook though, and immediately TheShy as the return. The answer coming on through. It doesn't matter though. Smite is down, and Inferno over everyone will not matter. The Drake taken by Weibo.
Yeah, really important play for Weibo to deny this dragon stacking and find that. They managed to get that pick on a Khan, and if you lose the Viego that early in the fight, so devastating, especially as he is the pierce with the smite as well. And sure, they do trade back, they do pick up TheShy, but I think Weibo have to be happy with that one, especially as they get the TP out of Fofo. So removing some of that pressure. We've seen what BLG have been doing is leaving someone in the side lane for quite a while, then having them join late or TP in. So the less that is they're able to do that, the more favorable the position Weibo will be in. And we'll see the replay coming out. Yeah, Khan just overstepping here and then tries to dive on TheShy. And the fact that he misses the stun just means he's a really uncomfortable spot. I have to say, though, I think Crisp's Lantern must have been on cooldown going into that, because he waited an extremely long time before he threw it out for him.
This TP for Fofo. I mean, obviously Fofo is thinking that the team is going to fight more for this one, but they only get the 1 pick. That's everything that they can go for. And then Fofo could have gone for the tier 1 up at the top side. Bit late, but now, crucially, that TP going to be on cooldown for a long time. Both solo laners having the TP on the side of Weibo could be a bit of an issue for Fofo.
Yeah. Not the ideal situation. A lot of things went wrong, but still gold within a reasonable amount. And I think this game, as we go further and further, it's going to come down to execution in these fights. Dragon up in 3.5 minutes. Pressure alleviates of Weibo. I just feel like On is just always posturing to try and find a grab. It's been a while since we've seen a good one. There was one of that fight we just had, but like in these setups where BLG are hunting for vision, he's trying to get someone, and it's just not happening.
I'm just waiting for him to start spamming 3 in the classic blitzcrank fashion. You know, spamming control 3 where you just start waving your arms around and laughing at them. I feel like that is just... If you're playing blitzcrank and you're not doing that, what are you doing with your life? That's why you're locking the champion. Also, I will question the lack of definitely not blitzcrank in this situation. One of the great skins in the entire game. SofM! Not actually dodging the hook there, but Crisp goes slightly wide on it. Angel is going to dodge away from the face seal. Oh, Fofo! What have you done, my friend? Now trying to escape through his lane, but SofM is here. Crisp flashing onto the knock-up. That's going to be a static field, but the miss on the knock-up there from On. Fofo under the tower, but TheShy is there with him. Doggo takes him down in the end, but Angel here to chase it down with the Sand Soldiers. Bin now arriving in the fray. This is pure chaos. But Bin now getting their end stacked up onto him. Huanfeng wants a kill, and oh my days, that damage. Doggo pulled back into the action as Huanfeng grabs himself too.
And Weibo should just be able to turn straight onto the Baron. They find the play. Honestly, kind of handed it by Fofo. Actually, not going to go for it. Spawn time is a little bit too low, but still a massive fight for them to find favor in. Fofo tries to make the big highlight play and kind of fumbles it. Like, the thing is, because he doesn't use his E first, he is now tethered to that point under tower. So he goes back to it and ends up under tower, then has to flash away super low. The team come to save him, but Weibo are there. And then On, I think, tries to predict the flash from Doggo, but Doggo holds it, uses the Gale Force after. But in the extended play, TheShy, such a threat. Look how much damage he does to Doggo, nearly takes him out on the back end.
Been flashing over to try and answer something. Will get Angel for himself, but then Huanfeng, just look at this red damage. That is just mind-blowing. And then On is like, oh, hey, Doggo, you've used your flash and your Gale Force. There is no escape now. Takes the easy kill at the end of it. And it means Weibo now in control. 2.5, 3,000 gold is their lead. For a dive onto Bin here, or don't even need to dive. You can take the tower down first. Bit of pressure on the bottom side. With SofM down here, though, BLG should be able to get control of the Baron area.
Yeah, I think you apply the pressure so they can get the tower, but you don't want to overcommit and potentially leave Baron available. That being said, Dragon is up in 50 seconds. So obviously a little bit of a split focus on this one. You don't want to give up control of Baron completely, but you also want to be in a position where you can get some wards down towards that Dragon and set up for that one. You can see BLG have to back off and respect Weibo. Current goldie is like 3,500. And this Kalista is really strong right now with the Ginsus, with the shield bow closing on a third item as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 20 seconds on that Drake. The reset's going to come through from the side of Weibo, as they know that they have control right now. There should be 2 Infernal Drakes back to back here. And BLG perhaps can try and go for some kind of threat on Baron, but against Azir, you really don't want to get caught in that pit. You really don't want to do anything too crazy. There's a TP going to come on through here. This is from Angel to just make sure that mid-prio is gained by Weibo. And they do now have control of the map. But the thing is, this is the scary situation for Weibo. Every time they're the ones comfortably in control and not much needs to happen for them to win the game, that's when they go craziest. That's when they feel like they need to make a play.
Yeah, the thing is, though, BLG are posturing, but they kind of... Oh, On.
What did I just say? What did I just say? There's no need for them to make a play. They obviously felt like the Baron was happening. On just sprints into everyone. And now BLG with an opportunity, looking for a couple more picks. Nothing else will happen. But again, Weibo, they just had to play it slow. And immediately they go for the play.
I guess they're like, okay, On's going to be the one to check. I would have liked that play a lot more if Huanfeng was in range to ult him, but I guess they just didn't care. And now the start of the Baron. SofM so low.
Huge damage coming out from Bin and Crisp there, but he just goes in for the knock-up anyway. Bin, huge ulti across the team here. Angel low on HP. TheShy onto Doggo, though. In the meantime, he'll find a kill onto the enemy AD carry. Huanfeng and TheShy. Look at that needlework damage. The Rend is there as well. Fofo cannot get a single hit onto Huanfeng, and TheShy is there to clean it up. Double kill, triple on the Gwen, and on his back. He's respawned, he's rejoined the fray. Has been flees for the hills, but there's nowhere for him to run. Back to Baron go Weibo.
And I think you're seeing why this champion was so consistently banned against TheShy. Absolute monster. A 4v5 where SofM was blown up almost instantly. Angel wasn't able to do anything. And TheShy and Huanfeng can just two-man fight the rest of the team off. Bin's coming in. No ult, by the way, but does have flash.
Bin, no ulti available. This is not a 1v3 that I think he can really take. Zongo's behind the Baron. Stun's coming on out. Huanfeng has the rend. This should be taken. There we go. Baron for Weibo. What more happens? Lantern comes out, but Bin just going to use his lightning surge to escape. And it will be Weibo with the Baron. It will be Weibo with the resets. No kills coming out for BLG in the end. A 5k gold lead.
And I mean, Weibo got everything they want. They got the Dragon, they got the Baron, they got the fight. You know, kills onto TheShy on this Gwen as well. Has actually gone for the Void Staff, interestingly enough. You know, typically don't see that item with the amount of true damage from the Riftmaker and Gwen herself, but we'll see the replay. So SofM gets chunked really heavily, and he knows he has to face check because there's no blitzcrank here. He does turn around the burst, but then he goes down, and we also get Angel basically instantly deleted. But TheShy solos out Doggo, and then he's in position to rejoin the fight, catches a ton of damage on the back end with that ultimate. Huanfeng drops the rend as well, and BLG just can't win the extended fights against the Gwen, against the Kalista. They have the strength in burst, right? The bursty ultimates from Fofo and Bin. The longer the fight goes, the more value the Gwen, the more value the Kalista get.
Yeah, that was a brutal fight for BLG, but a miracle for the side of Weibo. They have complete control now. And look at the siege damage that they're doing, already taking a mid-inhib tower. TheShy getting collapsed upon in a 2v1 right here. The sustain is a lot. SofM thinking about the idea of contesting. Is the rest of the team going to try and end the game? Weibo not doing this the traditional way. They just want to brute force into the mid lane. They go one next to tower falling. Weibo looking for a second one as well. It's down to half. In goes Doggo to try and turn the play, but Angel knocks it back. There's the pick. Crisp will fall. That'll be Weibo finding themselves the game, and what a way to do it as well. Huanfeng turns gold, and Can is going to get rendered, but on is there. Fofo takes one. It does not matter, or does it? Bin has returned. They're actually going to hold on. I don't know. With the minions, I feel like Weibo can finish this one.
Yeah, I mean, he's got no ult. He just used the minions to block his Qs. They should be able to end here.
There it is. Yeah. Weibo get it. There it is. It was not clean. It was an absolute mess of a series. Just pure chaos from start to end. But my God, was it entertaining. Weibo get it in the end. But Can, great first series of his career here in the LPL. And I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more of it.
Yeah, I think Can looked good. Definitely positives there. But fortunately, a loss for BLG when they really need series wins. If they are going to keep in playoff contention. I believe 2-6 now after that one. Not in a good spot. But Weibo, yes, it wasn't clean. Do we ever expect Weibo series to be clean? Probably not. But TheShy on the Gwen, an absolute monster. The team had to commit so much to take him down. And the rest of them just go, you know what? We'll just end through mid. Not even through the back door. They just went through the front door.
Yeah, beautiful stuff coming out from Weibo. The second everyone commits to TheShy, they're like, okay, just end the game. Just go for this one. TheShy like, look, I've got pressure in the side lane. Just go for the Nexus. Very nicely done. And it got a little tense at the end, I have to say. If Bin had ultimate still, that could have been saved. But obviously using that ulti on TheShy earlier on in the play. A very tense game. A lot of incredibly close team fights. Like, those last two fights were not particularly one-sided in favor of Weibo. It was Weibo just about winning things out. But that's all you need in a series like this. And it means Weibo positive now. 5-4 in the standings. And as you say, BLG really struggling. I think they're now 2-6.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, BLG, there's still positives to take away from the fact that Can has come in and looked good. Hopefully they can just continue, like, to find series coming out of here. Like, the next series against LGD, then RA, those are definitely winnable for them. But there's still a lot of hard series left in their schedule. They haven't played RNG yet. They haven't played JDG. And there's still a lot of work to be done if they want to make the playoffs. But Weibo, I feel like the middle of the pack so much. Like, we had the clear top teams, right? Like, V5, JDG, Top Esports, RNG, who only really beating each other. And then Weibo was in that middle of the pack that was so messy, but they're starting to gain some ground. This was a good series for them, as much as, you know, there was messy moments. In the games they won, they did look convincing. Yes, there was that throw, but this one in particular, it felt like they kind of just hit their stride. And TheShy showing why he was so feared on the Gwen in spring.
Yeah, that ban, obviously, Belveth, for anyone that's wondering. But yeah, fantastic stuff from Weibo. And it feels like you know, when Weibo play these compositions with an aggressive bottom lane, with On being able to be a playmaker, with Huanfeng being able to carry in the mid game, and TheShy on a team fighter, it just looks so good. It's so much fun to watch. They have so much power behind them. But honestly, these kinds of games, they kind of remind me of IG with Rookie and TheShy and Jackie them. You know, it reminds me of that kind of gameplay. But then you get games like game number 2, where they just go full scaling and they don't make... Oh, sorry, it was game number 1. They go full scaling, they have no proactivity, they don't really do much in the early game, and it all just sort of falls to the wayside.
Yeah, I just think it's important to have a lane to play for. I think it's the main thing. I feel like as much as like the game, the expectations are slow down the durability change, and there have been like a decent amount of scaling picks coming in, you still want a lane to play for, because if the enemy team has scaling picks and you have scaling picks, but the enemy team has a lane to snowball and gets like a